Summoned to Another World for a second time is the anime equivalent of that feeling you get when you make a new account in a game and grow a god complex by absolutely neglecting the progression and causing every other event to make literally no sense because you already know everything and exactly how to skip literally all of the boring parts. This show doesn't rush its story, it fucking speedruns it. It's like a middle school kid wrote this after being suspended for retaliating against their bullies and getting his World of Warcraft taken away for the week. This anime feels like everything that was cut out of a normal anime put together and then scrambled like a fucking Rubik's Cube to create the ultimate power fantasy, and it is worrying that this was not the worst isekai this season. I'd love to tell you about the story in this show, but there isn't one. So that leaves the rest of this video for me to talk about the characters, which is great because this show introduces so many of them that they have more major characters than they do episodes. Starting with this girl, who's shown off in the first episode to be the female lead of the show and has a strong connection to the main character, has a lot of potential for growth, and then we never see her again. Then there's these three, who are apparently close friends of the main characters from the last time he came around and are really strong, having fought alongside the hero and being high-ranking officials in the kingdom who we never see again. Looking 3 more seconds into the future, our main character is now halfway across the world and encounters the daughter of a blacksmith that he once bought a single thing from, who was tasked with delivering a brooch to the demon lord that he gave her the last time he was around, except that she doesn't know that she's delivering it to the demon lord, and also doesn't know that the person escorting her with the same exact name as the hero is the hero, and then we never see her again. Yeah, I don't know guys, there might be a bit of a pattern here, but I can't really put my finger on it. Whoops, sorry, wasn't paying attention there. Now the main character has finished his trip across the entire world, and has been reunited with one of his good friends, also known as the literal fucking sea god, who he kinda just uses as an Uber for the rest of the show, and she's involved in a couple of fight scenes or something, I don't know. He then crashes the wedding of the demon lord because nobody's allowed to take the waifus from his harem, and then just lets this guy run away because, yeah. Seeing this development, our main character reasonably decides to travel halfway across the world again, pausing briefly to talk to these 2 demon girls, one of which he knows because he trained her or something at one time, and then kills one of them because she was the imposter. On to the next episode, we meet this girl whose name is literally White Cat, working hard to support her sister through shady work from this lady called Black Dog, who was probably only named that so they didn't have to name the girl's sister Black Cat. Realizing that he's letting too many characters be forgotten after only giving them less than 5 minutes of screen time, the main character decides to pick these 2 up as part of the harem, so we actually do see them again, and this lady runs away after a definitely very surprising twist that she's a bad guy, and then the main character just continues like, oh no, that was probably really traumatizing for these girls, anyways, where's the lying princess so I can flirt with her and make them all jealous? The correct answer was up. Arriving in the Beastman capital, Setsu beats up the princess, then greets the king by slamming him into the floor so hard it becomes a fire hazard, and this is where he has to fight the generic prideful character who's also the fiancé of the princess that she doesn't love, because reasons. And then he dies halfway through the fight so the villain can show up and express his love for the main character. And then he disappears, but don't worry, we get the entirety of the next episode talking about why he's so in love with the protagonist. Dude's harem's so big, even the main villain is in it. Going back to the other people that are relevant to the story, probably, we can see that they're fighting a literal war. Wait, what the fuck? How did this happen? And then these 2 show up. It's cool that we get to see them again after 4 episodes. And now she's being controlled by the imposter and needs to be saved by the main character again because competent characters can't exist on the hero's side. But before he gets here, let's have these other characters explain everything by having them say shit like,
"This is called a sleeper. I'm using my bicep to constrict your..."
wow, I definitely needed to know all that. Anyways, hey look, she's good again, and now the other girl's dead, and we get a flashback to a flashback that we saw 4 episodes ago. Wait, did we ever get an explanation of why she's no longer being controlled? And here comes the next big evil character with the same exact somewhat sympathetic backstory to challenge our supporting characters who are all worn out. Except the story doesn't give a shit about him, so neither will I, because the main character shows up to kick his ass before any other character can have significant growth. But before he does that, remember these 2, they can fuse now or something. Then they introduce this character, and I could not be asked to watch any more of this show, so big bad guy turns into good guy, the end, okay bye.